What's up, people? Perry here with another episode of Surviving Creatively and lots of updates to tell you about, all of which we will get to at some point in time. I'm trying to look around to see what exactly to tell you that I've updated since the last time we had an episode. I've been kind of fooling around in MC Edit a little bit, so I'm a little bit confused as to what I have done and what I haven't done since the last time I played. But it'll all come to me as we go along here. The first thing that you'll notice is the flooring. The flooring's got some lighting in it, and I was actually quite pleased with this. You can see here, I was trying to figure out some sort of a decent lighting system. I didn't want it to be overly noticeable, and that was the idea behind it. So I used these anvils here, and underneath it I decided to go with this, what's this called? Sea lanterns. Well, sea lanterns. Very cool. I thought to myself, it would be probably a good idea to start using different types of glowing blocks and stuff that gives off light. So I tried out the sea lantern. Turns out works out pretty good. There is an option to maybe go with, let's see if we can find some glowing blocks here. There's an option to go with glowstone. Where is it? There it is. But we can take a look at that right now. So I'll just plop in some glowstone like so, and then an anvil, wherever that is. I'm not very good at searching for items in Minecraft, that's for sure. So something like that. But the problem with that, with the glowstone, yeah, I can see a little bit of it. Of course, it's not really that big a deal because you can't see it as you're walking through here anyways. But as I'm taking a look down at it, I don't really like how this is kind of sticking out. It looks a little bit too messy for my look. It's really just nitpicking on the details, but over here you can tell with the sea lantern, nice straight lines, straight edges, and it looks generally better than this glowstone, in my opinion. Of course, your opinions may vary, and the other thing is that I have arranged them in sort of a crisscross pattern, so one goes this way, the other goes that way, and so on, and it kind of just alternates as we go along, because these anvils are actually they're rectangular and they're not square in shape, but it allows light to go through, and that's what's important. So the floor is all lit up, and so that it's not all pitch black and dark in here. The roof line I've kept pretty much the same. The ceiling, I really liked how it turned out, so nothing to change there. I was thinking about lining it up, but you know what, that's not really needed. Possibly over here, you can see there's a hole here. That's only temporary for right now because I need the light to come in to shine down there. Other updates, other things to tell you about, lots of things to tell you about. These right here. These furnace-eye. This was a tip given by a bunch of you in the comments. Thank you very much for telling me about this. And this is all to do with reducing lag in the world. And the idea behind it is that these furnaces help prevent the hoppers from trying to read something on top. Basically all it does is it saves on CPU power. So thanks for the tip. It has reduced lag on this world, I would say considerably. It definitely raised my frames per second by at least 100%. I don't know, but any little bit helps here and there. The exterior we've been working on. Take a look at it. I've added in to kind of strengthen these pillars here, give it more of a definite look to it, make sure it's, you know, well visible within the whole structure itself. I added in these, whoops, I was trying to select a block, but that's a it's a quartz, block of quartz. It's funny when you're trying to think of the word and it never comes to you. That happens often to me when I'm recording these episodes, it seems. But I'm slowly working on it. So anyways, you can see right here, I've added some definition to it. And the idea behind it is that this whole archway is something that needs to be highlighted so that you can kind of tell that, you know, it's an archway. Because if I left it alone, what would end up happening is that you kind of get it lost in this whole detail feature here. So we want to make sure that this gets highlighted nicely. And then on top of the roof, you can see that I've added sort of like a dome, and using MC Edit, I was able to kind of finagle the two pieces together. This whole deal with the underlying ceiling, and then this rooftop, this dome shaped rooftop here, and it's turned out quite well. I'm quite proud of it, actually, how it's all just kind of melded together. I was a little bit concerned about it being a little bit too messy, but it's actually doing quite well from my eye. And then you can see along the sides here, I've begun kind of entering in to this idea of building a giant dome that kind of encompasses the entire area, and that's what these supports are for. They're going to be holding up this giant dome that will go over top of this dome right here. So just to give it sort of like an isolated feel, so that when you're looking from this angle or from this area, you're looking at it and you're saying to yourself, this is some sort of isolated structure. So that's pretty much all of the updates I have to tell you about this world, all the things that I've done thus far. What we're going to do and what we're going to try and do is work on this right here, which is the offloading system. I was thinking about sort of a centralized thing right here, some sort of, if I can demonstrate real quick, something to build. Oops, gotta beware of holes everywhere. But you can see right here, I was thinking about some sort of centralized system that you would just walk up into this area and you would just drop off your items, and then from there it just kind of sorts itself out. But I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If I build something here, it's going to look something like this. I'm just blocking it in, right? It's going to take up this much space, right? And so this is the entrance to the keep itself. We walk in here, and then we see this thing right away, which is great. But the problem is that over here, I also want the entrance to the vault. And that is a very important part of this build, and it's a main focal point that I want it to be in this area right here. So what I'm thinking is that we don't build something here. Instead, maybe we could branch this off to maybe some sort of thing here and some sort of thing here, if that's even. Sure, that's even. But the idea behind it is that now we have two different places to put our items in. And I was a little bit concerned about it before because of the fact that I didn't want to, like I was thinking placing down a chest like so, and then you would have to fill in all your items. I was thinking that maybe I wouldn't have enough room to put in all the different items that I wanted to. So that would mean that I'll have to kind of extend it into a double chest type thing. But with this option, where we have maybe a chest over here and a chest over here, then we still have the same amount of room to offload our items. It's just that it keeps it out of the way of the main focal point, which is the entrance to the vault over here. It's just a matter of, you know, putting items in here, and then once you're full with that, you go over here and then you can offload more items there. It's a little bit of a give and take in terms of design, but I think it'll work out quite well for us. And what this allows us to do is, of course, opens up this area right here. I'll have to cover this place up, of course. But what I'm going to do right now is to go away for a little bit, and I'm going to get some items together, pick out some sort of design that I want to do, and then when we come back, we can get on with the build. So I'll see you in just a little bit. All right, so let's get on with the build. You can see over here, I've made some changes to it. This orange glass right here is not really the final design. I was just kind of playing around with it, but I've set up some water channels. And if I can just get rid of this orange glass, I can show you. As you can see, I just have a simple water channel, and this will be the offloading position for our items. And they kind of just, you just drop them in and they all just kind of float off. And they go in this direction to our hoppers, which are right down below. And then it all gets sorted off. So that's real easy, real simple. And actually, it's a lot better than having a chest here. Because I was thinking about having some sort of a chest like right here, and you just put the items in and then they would all funnel down into the system. But I was thinking to myself, why not just take out the middleman? Don't worry about all the the nuts and bolts of having to put in a chest and hoppers all this way. Why not just make a simple water system and kind of transport the items much more efficiently, I guess. But that's going to be the idea. Now comes the hard part, which is trying to develop some sort of a system to place the items into it. And I don't want to just have like a little hole here where you can just dump stuff in. Obviously, we want it to look a little bit better. And so I have a couple of rules that I'm thinking about here. One is that I don't want to obstruct the view of the vault entrance. And the second thing is that I want to kind of keep it low profile so that it kind of takes advantage of this view of the lovely ceiling that we have right here. So here's what I'm thinking. Some sort of a trough that goes along like so. And hopefully I'm hoping that things will be able to work out. And I need to get some blocks on my bar because I just threw them away. So I just found out I need a block of quartz stairs. There we go. And so I'm thinking about some sort of a trough, and it goes something like this. Don't worry about the orange wool right here. That's kind of like a guide. And so something like that. I think we'll have to get rid of that. Just like that. Okay. So something along this lines. Let's see, how many blocks is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks. And let's just tunnel this out for now. This might be a bit of an issue, or maybe not. Let's just cover this up like so, and we'll add in a little water channel. Do they go? How many blocks does water go? Okay, that might be okay. That might be all right. And then the next thing that I want to do is I want to cover this up, and I think I'm just going to cover up this water channel just for now, because I do want to have this open, because I would like to see the items as they go into the troughs here. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's just for looks really. And so we'll take these quartz slabs and we'll place it like so. And then maybe on top of it, something like that. Nice and simple. So it's like an imaginary, well, it's like a pig's trough. I mean, basically all you do is you'd stand here and then you just take whatever items you want, just toss it in there. Real easy, real simple. And hopefully, if it gets around that corner, I haven't really tested it with that. Yep, you just saw it. All the stuff gets sorted down there. Real nice and real easy. Now, the benefit of this is that it gives us a wide range of places to just throw our items in. But right now, I think we'll have to try and work out some sort of way to light it. Because as you can see right about here, it's a little bit too dark. So I'm going to try and figure that out. And what I'll do next is I'll expand on this whole pattern. I'll put one here, and of course I'll put one there, but then I also want to kind of mimic it over on this side and all over here, mainly just for style, just for looks. Of course they won't be functioning, but I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll be back in just a little bit. All right, so all done so far. So take a look inside here. I've added in some sea lanterns just in the back there. You can kind of see a hint of it, and in front of it I've placed this light gray stained glass just to kind of hide it a little bit, but at the same time kind of provides a little bit of light. And of course the water streams are still in there, ready to carry our items away. In the middle I decided to kind of expose the stream a little bit, just so that you could see your items as they kind of pass through this area and into the hoppers. And of course behind that I've used the sea lanterns. I'm trying to hide the sea lanterns as best as I could, but in this case, you know, there's a little bit of give and take here, but I don't think that should be too much of an issue. This right here, this is only temporary, so that's not really something we have to worry about. Of course on the other side I've done the same thing, and then on these sides I've done the exact same thing. The only difference is that they are not functional. I've put in some stained glass here just to kind of prevent myself from just throwing things in and getting stuck in there. So it's kind of a little bit of a safety measure. But as for the rest of the build, I decided to kind of make a little bit of an archway here. It's a little bit too cumbersome, and I'm not too sure how I feel about it. I might want to go with something a little bit more simple. I added in these sea lanterns at the top here. Again, I'm trying to hide them just a little bit, especially from this angle. You can kind of see little hints and glimpses of it. But as far as the design goes, I think it will work out quite well because the color of the sea lantern is actually quite complementary to the mustard yellow of the ceiling. So and if you don't know your color wheel, blues and yellows are usually complementary to each other. So I still have to do a tutorial on that, on color tutorials, but yeah, one thing that I wanted to address before we go is that somebody in the comments, and I'm not going to try and pronounce your name, instead I will just show it down below, and they had mentioned that they wanted to, or were thinking about maybe putting in a layer of glass on each level of the warehouse to kind of give it a mysterious type of look. And while I will probably not do it, we'll give it a shot. We'll take a look and see what it looks like. So this is just for you. And there we go. Not bad. Wow. I am impressed. That looks pretty cool. I may keep it. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, but that's something that looks really cool. Wow. The way I know in your comment you made it, you told me that it might make it look mysterious, but wow, that looks pretty cool. Wow. I might keep it. But that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you so much for your comment. And if any of you have another comment that you would like to kind of see, an idea that you would like me to try out, be sure to leave that in the comments down below. Of course, anything on your mind, leave it in the comments, of course. And don't forget to hit that like button if you so choose. It really helps me out a lot. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Anyways, that's it for me, and that's it for this episode. Always remember, keep your head up, and I'll see you in the next one.